This activation is built on a simple premise. Across the field of all possible futures, there exists a multiplicity of versions of you. Some of those versions struggle, some of those versions remain where you are, and some of those versions have already arrived at the wealth you've been calling toward yourself. They exist and are real. Welcome to the Reality Revolution. I'm your host, Brian Scott. Today's activation is the Future Self-Wealth Transmission. Before we begin, I want to invite you to an amazing event I'm hosting in Anaheim, California on July 24th through the 26th at the Anaheim Hilton. Darryl Anka will be a guest. This will be our most advanced Future Self-Transmission. Tickets are available now. Early bird pricing is still available. You can get a discount on the room. It's an amazing opportunity. These events are designed to completely transform your life. You can find the link in the description at www.brianscotlive.com/Anaheim-2026. Wherever you are, however you're positioned, allow my voice to reach you. You can listen to this while sitting, walking, driving, working, or moving through any activity of your day. The work that is about to occur happens beneath the level of your conscious activity. Your job is to remain available. The transmission does the rest. This activation is built on a simple premise. Across the field of all possible futures, there exists a multiplicity of versions of you. Some of those versions struggle, some of those versions remain where you are, and some of those versions have already arrived at the wealth you've been calling toward yourself. They exist and are real. Their timelines run parallel to yours, separated by the choices that produce them. This activation reaches out across that field and locates one specific version, the version of you who lives the financial reality you've been seeking, the version whose wealth is complete, whose life is structured around abundance, whose nervous system has resolved the question of survival permanently. That version is one of many, and by the end of this activation, that version will be the one with whom you have established direct contact. Before this contact, that future you is one possibility among many. After this contact, the connection is established. The influence begins. The broadcast that has been latent across the timelines begins reaching you with measurable force. You are tuning a dial, selecting a frequency, and the moment the selection is complete, the transmission begins flowing in both directions. You reaching forward, your future self reaching back, the contact stabilizing into a permanent channel. That contact is the work of this activation. The principle is sometimes called future pull. The version of you we are about to contact has accumulated experience, wealth, mastery, freedom, and a quality of life that the present version of you has only glimpsed. Once the contact is made, that accumulated state generates a gravitational field. It pulls. It draws the present version of you forward through time, the way a power magnet draws iron filings across a table. The pull begins the moment the contact is established. From that moment forward, you will feel it. The restlessness, the sense that something larger is approaching, the intuition that your life is on the threshold of a transformation you are unable to fully describe. That feeling is the wealth you have selected, calling you home. Allow your awareness to soften. Allow the boundaries of your ordinary identity to become permeable. The work we are about to do requires you to release, just for the duration of this activation, the certainty that you are only the version of you who currently exists in the present. You are something much larger than that. You are a continuum of possible selves. And the wealthy version we're about to contact is one specific point along that continuum, waiting for you to make a selection that brings them online. Bring your attention to your breath. You can do this with your eyes open or closed, while moving or while still. Take 3 slow inhalations and 3 slow exhalations. With each exhalation, allow more of the surface tension of ordinary consciousness to dissolve. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Inhale. And exhale. Feel the weight of your body, the temperature of the air against your skin, the quiet hum of awareness that exists beneath all sensation. That hum is the medium through which contact occurs. That hum is your consciousness in its receptive state, the frequency on which your future self is broadcasting. Imagine in the space directly above your head a thin golden thread. The thread extends upward, through whatever is above you, through the sky, through the boundaries of ordinary time and space. The thread is forming as you imagine it. The thread is the channel of selection that will guide you to the specific future self we are about to contact. At the end of the thread, across the field of all possible futures, there exists many versions of you. The thread will travel past most of them. The thread is calibrated to deliver you to one specific version, the one whose wealth is complete, whose life is structured around abundance, whose financial reality matches the deepest call of your present consciousness. That version is the one we are tuning to. That version is the one this contact will activate. As you bring your awareness to the thread, it strengthens. As you commit to the journey along the thread, it stabilizes. You are creating the channel. Through the act of selecting it, the channel becomes real with every breath you direct toward it. Allow your awareness to travel up the thread slowly and effortlessly. The way a thought travels across a room, you are moving through a corridor of golden light. The corridor has zero resistance. The corridor was created by your selection. As you travel, you are crossing time. The years between where you are and where you have arrived compress and unfold around you. The journey takes only as long as you allow it to take, because time at this level of consciousness is fluid. You sense the destination approaching. The corridor begins to widen. The air around you takes on a warmer quality. You sense the proximity of the version of you that you have selected. Allow yourself to feel the strangeness of this approach. Your present mind has been trained to consider the future as something that must be earned through years of struggle, sacrifice, and uncertainty. The corridor you're traveling demonstrates the opposite. The future you've selected has arrived already in its own timeline. The wealth and freedom and spaciousness, all of it exists simultaneously with your present circumstances, separated only by the thin membrane of timeline distinction. Your selection collapses that distinction. The membrane is dissolving as you approach the destination. Allow it to dissolve completely. You've arrived. The thread terminates in space. Take a moment to perceive this space. The light here is different than the light you're accustomed to. Look around slowly. Notice the windows. The environment is one that the present version of you would recognize as belonging to a person of considerable means. Notice the furniture, the textures, the colors, the absence of anything cheap, broken, or makeshift. Now turn your attention to the figure who lives here, across the room, seated in a position of complete ease. It's the future version of you. Take a moment to see this person clearly. Notice their face, the lines that have been earned through years of meaningful work and meaningful living. The eyes that hold a depth of certainty that the present version of you is still developing. The posture settled, open, uncontracted by financial fear. The breath which moves slowly and fully through a body that has learned what it means to be supported by the universe. This person is you. The continuity is unbroken. The same consciousness that animates you in this present moment animates this future version. There is zero stranger here, only you having traveled forward to meet yourself. The future version of you turns and acknowledges your arrival. There is recognition in their eyes. They sense the contact being established from your end. In their timeline, this is the moment when a present self they once were has selected them for direct connection, and they are receiving that selection with full presence. Contact stabilizes between you. The channel is now open. Approach the figure, cross the space, and sit across from yourself. The future version of you reaches across the space between you and offers their hands. Take them. The hands you're holding are the same hands that hold yours, the same skin, the same bone structure. You are holding a future you are walking toward. Through this contact, a transmission begins. The future version of you is sharing their state with you, their financial state, their nervous system state, their consciousness state. The quality of their daily experience is moving through their hands into yours. Notice what arrives as the transmission begins. First, there's an extraordinary settlement, the kind of nervous system regulation that comes from years of zero financial scarcity. The body of your future self has forgotten what it feels like to tighten when bills arrive, forgotten the contraction that it used to occur when checking accounts. It has forgotten the held breath that used to accompany words, "How much does it cost?" The settlement is being transmitted. Allow it to enter your nervous system, your body to receive the absence of the financial fear. Your shoulders drop, your jaw softens. Allow your stomach to release the chronic micro-tension that has been your constant companion for as long as you can remember. Beneath the settlement, there's a specific frequency of someone who has more than enough, held as a baseline rather than an aspiration. The frequency of someone whose problems are creative problems rather than survival problems. The frequency of someone whose decisions are made from possibility rather than limitation. That frequency is being transmitted through contact. Allow it to entrain your own field. The way two pendulums in the same room will eventually swing in synchronization. Your present consciousness is being entrained by the consciousness of your future self. The frequencies are aligning. Your body is learning through direct transmission what it feels like to be the version of you who already lives the financial reality you've been calling toward yourself. This transmission has nothing to do with effort. The contact alone is sufficient. Your future self does the work. You only need to remain open to receive. Your future self stands and gestures for you to follow. They want to show you their life. They move through the home together. Notice every detail: the kitchen where excellent food is prepared and shared, the space where work is done, a desk, a studio, creative environment, the room where rest occurs with bedding chosen for quality. This home is fully owned. There is zero debt against it. The ownership is complete and uncomplicated. The future version of you walks through these spaces with relaxed authority of someone for whom housing security is a settled matter that requires zero attention. Move outside with your future self. The transportation is excellent. The vehicle is the one you've been quietly imagining, or perhaps something better that you have yet to discover. The car starts. The drive is smooth. The journey is one you take whenever you wish, to wherever you wish. Drive somewhere significant, perhaps a favorite restaurant, a beach, part of the world you've always wanted to visit. The future version of you takes you there. The accommodations are exceptional. The experience unfolds without any small frictions. At the destination, you're seated. A meal arrives. The food is fantastic. The future version of you eats slowly with full presence. They have learned that wealth, when real, expresses itself in the quality of attention given to small moments rather than in any dramatic display. The wealthy version of you is profoundly present in their life. That presence is itself a form of wealth that the present version of you has been chasing. Watch how your future self engages with the server. The warmth, the eye contact, genuine appreciation. Wealth has changed the way your future self moves through every transaction. Notice how this person handles money. Notice the absence of small flinches, quick mental calculations. Money flows through your future self the way water flows through an open channel. There's zero drama or clinging or fear of either gaining or losing. Money has become what it was always meant to be: a current, a flow, a medium of expression. Take the time to truly observe how your future self moves through the day. Notice the unhurried quality of their walk, the way they pause to look at things. The wealth has restored their capacity for attention. Watch your future self interact with their phone. The relationship is healthy. The phone is used with intention rather than compulsion. Hours that once disappeared with anxious scrolling have been reclaimed. Watch them make decisions about something small, whether to take a particular trip, to purchase a particular item, to accept a particular invitation. The decision arrives quickly. There's no extended deliberation about cost. The wealth has simplified decision-making to a single criterion. Does this align with who I am and what I value? If yes, the choice is made. Return with your future self to their home. Sit together again in the same comfortable space where the contact began. Your future self wants to show you the actual numbers, the financial structure of their life, the mechanics of how the wealth is held, generated, and distributed, and enjoyed. Allow yourself to see what they are showing you. Even if your present analytical mind resists the specifics, allow the larger pattern to register at the level of feeling. There are multiple income streams, some active, some passive, some generated by work that aligns completely with your purpose, some generated by investments that compound while you sleep, some generated by intellectual property created in the years between this present moment and the future you. Books, courses, content, contributions to the world that continue to deliver value long after the initial creative work was complete. There are accounts that hold reserves of significant size. Their reserves are held with calm competence. There's an accountant, a financial advisor, a system that manages the wealth so that the conscious mind of your future self is freed from financial micromanagement and freed for the higher work of living, creating, contributing, and enjoying. There are zero outstanding debts of any kind. Credit cards are used for convenience and reward, with balances cleared as a matter of routine. Loans have been paid in full. The financial structure has been engineered for clarity, simplicity, and complete ownership. There is generosity. A significant percentage of the income flows outward toward causes, family members, friends in transition, communities the future version of you has chosen to support. The generosity is the opposite of depletion. The generosity is overflow. The future version of you has discovered that generosity, properly understood, is one of the most powerful wealth-building practices that exists, because it confirms again and again the assumption that there is more than enough. Look at the structure of this life, the architecture of the wealth. Allow yourself to see that this is achievable, sustainable, inevitable, and complete. The future version of you has stopped waiting for one more acquisition to feel secure. The future version of you arrived at security years ago and has been living from that foundation ever since. Notice the rhythm of how the wealth flows. Income arrives at predictable intervals. Surplus accumulates. Surplus generates additional income through the work of compound returns. The system is self-sustaining, automatic. Your future self has stopped chasing wealth. The wealth has been engineered to deliver itself in regularity. Notice also the relationship your future self has with abundance as a felt sense, rather than a numerical condition. The numerical wealth is significant, but the felt experience of abundance was achieved before the numbers became significant. Your future self learned in the years between your present moment and theirs that the inner experience of abundance is the precursor to the outer manifestation. The inner condition came first, the numbers followed. The lesson was that wealth is fundamentally a state of consciousness that organizes circumstances around itself rather than a circumstance that produces a state of consciousness. The numbers are only the surface. Your future self wants to share something deeper. Allow your awareness to settle into a quieter mode. The interior life of the wealthy version of you is more remarkable than the external structures. There is first a profound peace, the kind of peace that comes from having resolved the survival question permanently. The animal nervous system, which has been scanning for threats since the moment you were born, has been allowed to stand down. The chronic background hum of financial anxiety has dissolved into silence. In the silence, other capacities have emerged. Your future self has time, real time, hours that belong to them, and only to them, time to read, to think, to be present with the people they love, to engage with the creative impulses that the present version of you has been trying to fit into the margins of an overstretched life. The future version of you has friendships of unusual depth, chosen rather than inherited, maintained through actual presence rather than through the harried check-ins of the time poor. There is health. The body of your future self has been cared for as the precious instrument. Excellent food, movement, rest, medical attention when needed, given without financial calculation. The body strong, energy steady. There is purpose. The work your future self does matters, contributes, serves the larger pattern of which they are a part. The wealth has freed them to choose work entirely on the basis of contribution, meaning, joy, with zero consideration of necessity. There's play. This future version of you has reclaimed the capacity for play that the busy decades of building can erode. Time spent doing things for sheer pleasure, hobbies pursued with the depth of a craft, adventures undertaken for their own sake. There is solitude. The wealth has given your future self the resource of time alone, used well. Mornings spent in quiet contemplation, long walks with no agenda. There is contribution that extends beyond the financial. This version of you has learned that money, while necessary, is only one of many forms of value they offer to the world. They mentor, they teach, they show up for the people in their life. There is most importantly a profound gratitude. This version of you wakes up each morning aware of the privilege of the life they inhabit. It is the natural response of a consciousness that remembers what it felt like to live without the resources they now hold. Now your future self looks at you with particular quality of attention. They want to tell you what it took them to arrive at the life they now live. Your timeline will unfold according to its own intelligence. They tell you that the arrival required the assumption to come before the evidence. Long before the wealth showed up in measurable form, they began living from the assumption that it was already real. They paid bills with consciousness of someone who had 10 times the resources. They tell you, second, that the arrival required surrender of the timeline. They stopped demanding that the wealth arrive on a particular schedule. They stopped checking whether progress was visible. They stopped measuring their inner state against their outer circumstances. They tell you that the arrival required them to become unattached to the form. They had ideas about how the wealth would arrive, specific streams, specific structures. The actual arrival came through channels they had never considered. The specifics were the universe's business. Their business was the assumption, the surrender, and the willingness to receive. They tell you that the arrival required them to act from sufficiency rather than lack. Decisions made from scarcity reinforced scarcity. Decisions made from sufficiency, even when the bank account had yet to confirm sufficiency, produced conditions of sufficiency. They tell you finally that the arrival required them to develop a specific kind of patience that contained no waiting. They were certain. They were grateful. They were already living in the wealth at the level of consciousness. Your future self gathers themselves. The contact is approaching its most important phase. They want to give you something specific that you will carry back into your present timeline. Open your hands. The future version of you is going to place an object in them. The object is small. It glows with light. The light is the color of warm gold. The object is dense. You can feel the weight of it in your palms. This object is the consciousness of wealth, the complete energetic signature of the financial reality your future self inhabits. Every assumption, every nervous system pattern, Every belief, every behavioral pattern, every relational stance toward money that defines your future self's wealthy existence, all of it has been compressed into this object and placed in your hands. Bring the object to your chest, allow it to enter you. The object passes through the surface of your skin, moving into the center of your chest, settling into the space behind your sternum, in the area of your heart. As it settles, it begins to expand. The energy of the object is releasing into your body. The compressed signature is unfolding throughout your nervous system, your bloodstream, your cells. Allow the installation to occur. Allow the wealth consciousness of your future self to integrate into your body. Zero resistance. Your body is built to receive this. The cells were waiting for the upgrade. Every system in you is welcoming the installation with complete cooperation. Notice how your body responds. The breath may deepen, the chest may warm, the shoulders may release a layer of holding you had stopped noticing. The stomach may settle. The face may soften. The eyes may grow heavy with the relief of receiving something you've been waiting your entire life to receive. This installation is complete. The wealth consciousness of your future self is now living inside the body of your present self. The two timelines have merged at the level of energetic information. The work of becoming the wealthy version of you has been accelerated by direct transmission. The path will now unfold from the inside out. Before you return, your future self has 3 statements they want you to receive. The first: the wealth you've been calling toward yourself is already complete. It exists. I am living it. The only thing that remains is the integration of your present consciousness with the consciousness I hold. That integration has begun. It will continue until finished. There is zero possibility of failure. The second statement: you will be tested. The path between where you are and where I am includes moments of apparent contradiction, financial situations that seem to argue against the reality I'm demonstrating to you. When those moments arrive, remember this contact. Remember that I exist. Remember that the wealth is already complete in my timeline and that my timeline is the destination toward which yours is unfolding. The tests are part of the structure, designed to deepen your assumption rather than dissolve it. The third statement: you've already done enough. The years of practice, the daily work, the meditations, the activations, the inner work, all of it has accumulated. You built the foundation. The wealth you're calling has been responding to your accumulated work for longer than you realize. From this point forward, you may release the sense that you must do more in order to deserve what is coming. You've already done enough. The arrival is in motion. Allow each of these statements to settle into you. Allow the voice of your future self to become a permanent presence inside your awareness. The voice will return when needed. The voice will speak when situations call for a larger perspective. Your future self stands. They want to embrace you before you return to your own timeline. Stand and meet them. Allow yourself to be held by the version of you who has arrived at the destination you've been walking toward. In the embrace, there is a complete merging of fields. The present version of you and the future version of you are for a long moment occupying the same space, same heartbeats, inside both bodies, the same breath. The boundary between you has dissolved entirely. In this dissolution, allow the recognition to arrive. You are one being. The version of you who has arrived stands as a continuation of you rather than a separate person you are visiting. The version of you who has arrived is you, witnessed from a different position along the timeline. Time has fooled you into thinking the two of you are separate. The contact you're making in this activation is restoring the truth. You are the wealth you're calling. The calling is occurring inside the larger awareness that holds both timelines. The arrival is occurring inside the same larger awareness. There is ultimately only one of you. That one of you is wealthy beyond anything the small mind has been able to conceive. Hold the embrace for as long as you wish. Allow the truth of unity to settle into your bones. When you're ready, gently release the embrace. Step back from your future self. Look at them one more time. Allow yourself to take in the face, the eyes, the posture, the quality of presence. so that you can recognize this being when you become them. Their future self places a hand over their heart. They speak one final word, hurry, and they smile, because they remember that hurrying is the slowest path. The arrival they are demonstrating to you came through ease, surrender, and willingness. The word hurry is delivered with affection. A final reminder that the urgency you have been carrying about your financial situation has been the very thing slowing the manifestation. Release the hurry, trust the structure, allow the arrival. The golden thread that brought you here begins to draw you back. You move backward through the corridor of light. The years that you crossed in the journey forward begin to compress in reverse. The corridor narrows gently around you. The sense of having traveled a great distance dissolves into the recognition that you've always been exactly where you needed to be. You are returning to your present moment, returning with full hands. Consciousness object is integrated, frequency entrainment is complete, the voice of your future self installed, the memory of the contact permanent. You're bringing all of it back into your body that sits where this activation begins. Allow your awareness to settle gently back into the present timeline. Feel the surface beneath you, the temperature of the air, the weight of your body. You have returned, the contact is complete, the work has been done. Take a deep breath, allow this integration to occur. Another deep breath in. Move slowly back into your day, avoid rushing, allow the field of activation to remain around you. The wealth you've been seeking has been seeking you. The version of you has arrived, is now broadcasting towards you. Quantum handshake has occurred. You are wealthy, you are free, you are exactly where you've always been moving toward. The connection is done. Your future self-wealth is activated. You can find all episodes of The Reality Revolution at therealityrevolution.com. And welcome to The Reality Revolution.